Hello everyone, this is Callie Beard of KarmicTools.com, and this is your weekly forecast for September 1st through 6th of 2025. Our week kicks off on September 1st with Saturn already retrograde, re-entering Pisces for the final pass. It'll be there until February 13th of 2026, when it'll permanently enter Aries. Saturn has just introduced the new Aries cycle, and it is also retrograded there, which suggests that we need to reset around our reality and purpose, and then return to Pisces to commune with your spirit team so that they can sign off on your new plan too. We can also look at it in a larger social context, as Saturn is re-entering the final degrees of the final sign for one final time to set a new social cycle in motion. Meantime, we can use its energy wherever it shows up in the chart to know the area of life initiating anew. So completing and initiating anew, right? This is an ending, new beginning moment. What has been revealed over the last 6 months that is informing your renewed purpose and deepened dedication? Once it goes direct, which will be November 27th in Pisces, you can expect certain things to fall into place and your foundation for going forward will be set. Saturn is known as the great teacher, Father Time, or Lord of Karma. Its whole purpose is to teach important lessons, determine healthy limits, and remind you that you are responsible for all of it, who you are as well as what you create in the world. As Saturn moves through the sky and thus through each sign, it will activate Saturn lessons for the collective. We are in an unprecedented seed time for our personal, social, and collective lives. During Pisces, the lessons have to do with surrender, integration, and good boundaries. During Aries, the lessons have to do with autonomy, self-sufficiency, inner authority, and your true individual purpose within the social and collective worlds, right? We are completing a 30-year cycle of reality and purpose. Personally, our roles and responsibilities have run a full cycle and should be considered for renewal at this time. Imagine this is the time to incubate the new vision that you will act on and activate in literal terms when Saturn hits Aries in 2026. So we want to prepare consciously. This is a big one. It's already retrograde, so we're working with that energy turned inward. It's important to use the planets for that. When the big boys go backwards, you can really work with that individually. And on Tuesday the 2nd, Mercury enters Virgo until September 18th. Mercury is finally done with its retrograde through Leo and entering Virgo, where it will help us to truly process and integrate whatever came into our conscious awareness over the last 3, 6, 9 weeks. It's time for discernment and discrimination. You will have to choose or decide which ideas are worth investing more energy, time, and resources going forward. It is time to get organized and create space to anchor these new ideas and integrate them into the new rhythm that is emerging. This is also an opportunity to do some personal healing of the mental body. We have been cracked open to all new consciousness in recent years, and there is more to come. So it's a good idea to use this time to pause, reflect, and recalibrate your mental input and output. Mercury and Virgo can really help with that. Consider how much you are taking in, processing, and putting to good use, and how much you are cultivating your own unique ideas and sharing them with others. It is time to upgrade your personal systems and do your processing and integration of all that you've learned in the last year so that it becomes embodied wisdom. This is most relevant for those with strong Virgo, Pisces, or Gemini, Sag activated in your chart. This is big for everyone because, like I said, the first thing Mercury does after a retrograde, the first sign it enters and the first planet it hits, which we're going to cover next, is important to pay attention to because that informs your forward movement. So the very next day, Wednesday the 3rd, the first thing Mercury does is square Uranus. So Mercury in Virgo squares Uranus and Gemini. So we're still processing. Breathe, do lots of grounding. You know what to do. This energy presents a challenge by urging you to broaden your consciousness, prompting a shift in your thinking or thought patterns, and encouraging new and different responses to information as it is presented. Uranus triggers sudden realizations, personal revelations, and revolutionary concepts. Ideal for adventurous souls who tend to thrive on change and innovation. However, if you are deeply attached to routines and the predictability of plans, this energy might cause frustration, taxing your nervous system as things appear sudden, even though they have more likely been simmering beneath the surface for some time now. See what I mean? Like the process of retrograde itself would have slowed that down and had things cooking under the surface. Now they're going to come out with Mercury activating in Virgo, and then the first thing it touches is Uranus, which is the wake up, the awakening, like it said, right? Flexibility and openness become crucial, requiring an adjustment to accommodate the heightened mental activity and information influx, although controlling it entirely may prove challenging. Yeah, ain't no controlling Uranus, so don't even try that. Honor the process. That's the thing to do. Have good boundaries, pull inward. Virgo's a solitary kind of energy. They like to process on their own. And pull that inward, and wherever Virgo is in your chart is where you like to process on your own and do your own integration. So this is where the ahas are just going to be pouring in. You know, it's compounded by the Virgo Pisces eclipses and all the other things going on up in the sky. So just know you're going to feel it. And at the same time, it's an earth sign. So we are getting grounded and organized in some kind of way to accommodate the changes that have just either happened or that you just woke up to. Consider recalibrating your personal filters by spending time in nature, allowing yourself to process thoughts at your own pace and clear your mind. This period fosters immense inspiration, innovation, and creativity, encouraging you to tap into these energies. Yet be mindful that anything initiated now may need a review later, prompting a meticulous examination of the details of any revelations or creation. You are merely scratching the surface. This phase emphasizes revelation and awakening, eventually leading to the practical logistics and effective actions required to materialize your ideas, dreams, and visions. Okay? So whatever's changed in your thinking, this is the time to create the new system. And you're supported to do so. But if you resist the change and you don't change something about your thinking, about your ideas, that's the other thing. Mercury and Leo lingered to help us infuse our ideas with some new love and passion and beauty and Leo energy, right? We're going to have to present it a whole different way than we thought going in. That's what that is. And so think of your presentation and how much that either has changed or needs to change. And we have something special on Wednesday, September 3rd, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. I am bringing back the animal medicine. This month is spider medicine, and while I know that is one of those triggering animals, there's so much magic with Grandmother Weaver to help us with our lives. And I am leaning into my earth medicine practices a little more and bringing the astrology along to support it. Whereas for the last 30 years, astrology's been pretty central focused for me. And I'm shifting to the more embodied work. It's going to take me a year or so to set up, but I want to move toward live retreats and sacred crafts nights and things where we are actually doing the work that the energies support. So I hope you will drop in. It is a subscription that's usually $25. I'm running a special for this first one and this last minute notification. If you put in the code PowerCircle20 all together, PowerCircle20, you'll get $5 off and it'll only be $20. So I hope you will join me. This month is Spider, next month will be Raven. And we'll get back on track with the animal medicine. Now we shift to Mars, which is more actions than thinking. Mercury's all about our thoughts and processes and ideas and things. Now we're on Thursday the 4th, when Mars is going to square off with Jupiter. This is Mars in Libra, squaring off with Jupiter in Cancer. Now we're in the cardinal energy of action and movement and choices and changes. Not easy, but definitely organic, and we've been through it before, so we know what to do. Mars in Libra is waking up a new cycle of conscious equal partnership and how we act and interact with others, who we choose to be around. Like, this is an upgrade in your Libra department of who you are and what you want. But when it goes through here, we can also upgrade our community zone, who we socialize with. And if that's happening and squaring off with Jupiter in Cancer, which is more connected to the ancestors, we might want to confirm certain new communities with the ancestors that that's the right and proper place for you. Or if you're expanding so much with your self-care and your own self-concept, because Jupiter is what we believe to be true or possible, then that could ruffle some feathers, square, challenge to grow out of comfort zone into new territory. If there's a part of you that wants to connect and collaborate with others, but still needs to get your foundation together. So I understand that. Get yourself together, then go interact with others. But this is the time to choose what you want in those conscious equal partnerships, to upgrade your choices. Like don't repeat mistakes, let's say that, about in terms of relationship, partnerships, or collaborations. In general, just a Mars square Jupiter, signs aside, this energy can manifest in two ways, as is often the case. On one hand, there is a tendency to overextend oneself and one's resources, driven by excessive optimism without proper pre-planning or conscious effort. Relying solely on luck in this manner may result in a hefty payment down the road, both metaphorically and literally. A more constructive approach involves contemplating today's actions or choices in light of future benefits. Utilize your foresight to envision your ultimate goals and identify steps to achieve them. Concentrate on the potential rather than the current reality. The heightened energy and desire to push limits can be advantageous, but caution is necessary to avoid overdoing it and defeating the whole purpose. So watch that Libra to Cancer energy. Calculated risks are acceptable, but impulsive reactions are not advisable. This energy also operates on an extreme scale. When things are good, they are very good, but when they're bad, they are terrible. Maintain a positive mindset, stay focused, and balance mental, emotional, and physical input, as well as your personal energy that you put out into the world. There's got to be a balance there. And this is the every 2 years to recalibrate it. So it's very supportive. Now we move to Friday the 5th, when Uranus retrograde at 1 Gemini. Uranus is often called the change agent. It brings disruption, but not with malicious intent. Uranus does not destroy, it liberates. It shakes the ground beneath your feet only to crack open a new portal of perspective. One that you might have never chosen on your own, but are better for having walked through it. This planet governs innovation, genius, freedom, and the unexpected. When it visits a sign or house in your chart, it is time to wake up, break out of outdated conditioning, and co-create a more authentic life. So Uranus will move back into Taurus one final time, November 7th, to April 25th of the new year, to help us finish that cycle before fully committing to Gemini in the spring of 2026. This is your moment to pay attention. What is beginning to stir in your consciousness? What conversations are emerging? What ideas are flickering? What truths are starting to sound louder than the old internal narratives? Okay, the old self-talk is out of here. Uranus will retrograde in Gemini and go direct in Taurus. So we will be given an opportunity to complete the changes accomplished in our Taurus department. But first, I suggest that you pay attention to what has been revealed over the last 2 months of its introduction to Gemini. When this happens, we are to make corrections and do our review on the Gemini side, and then use the Taurus side to anchor the new ideas and choices that will feed, support, and protect you going forward. I think it's a good idea to review the original post. I've linked it in here, but these bullets are the most useful to consider during the retrograde. Track your Gemini house to understand what part of your life is being awakened and activated. I'm going to add here to track your Taurus house to understand what part of life has changed over the last 7 to 8 years, because that's your frame of reference. Whatever has been awakened and shifted radically, like Uranus style, and how you've dealt with it is going to inform how you go forward. But because of this Gemini energy, you definitely want to strengthen your nervous system. Uranus can short circuit your clarity if you do not ground regularly. Breathe, move your body, sleep, rest your mind. Very critical, because it's like we're going to be charged with energy. This retrograde is saying we got to get calibrated to this, right? It's going back to Taurus so we can really be grounded and know what's coming. Your introduction was the last 2 months. We want to embrace the unexpected, especially when dealing with Uranus. Practice seeing change not as a threat, but as a spiritual invitation. Clear mental clutter. You might want to journal, meditate, walk in nature, turn off the screens. Make space for your inner genius to come through. It can't do that if you've got a screen with its own filter, filtering everything you see and hear. So it's critical for you to get under the sky with your feet on the ground and your head under the sky. That's how you activate the real communication and get the true guidance, your true north guidance. And the last one is trust synchronicity. Uranus speaks through signs, sparks, and supposedly random events. If you stay awake, you will see the pattern as it emerges, which is always valuable. Dates to remember. Uranus entered Gemini July 7th of 2025. Retrogrades this week on September 5th, which is Friday, at 1 Gemini. It's going to go on and re-enter Taurus November 7th, go direct at 27 Taurus February 3rd, and will re-enter Gemini April 26th. So these are dates to remember. So our week, between Mercury, Mars, Uranus, oh my God, and Saturn, it's a pretty impactful week, let's say. It's very important to navigate this as consciously as possible. And the last thing I want to put on here are the upcoming events for September. The 4th is Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. I'll be with Yeye Tish and her Patreon community. Tuesday, September 9th is the first Astro 101 class, so I hope that you all will consider joining me there. It's 8 weeks where we learn about astrology through your own blueprint. So it's very powerful. Wednesday, September 10th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, is the Venus Circle. We get together monthly to follow the Venus cycle. This month we're releasing in Leo at the throat chakra, so that 9 months from now we can reclaim in Leo at the power center. And it's a subscription, or you can drop in anytime. Wednesday the 17th is Yeye Tish's Money Pouring with her Patreon community, and I'll be there to contribute. And Thursday the 18th is Power Circle monthly call, where we get together on a certain topic. This month is the Virgo Pisces eclipses and the lunar flip, which is changing the order of how we manifest for the next 18 months. Sunday the 21st is our Soul Sisters seasonal fire ceremony, where I do a Zoom from my backyard with a fire pit, and we do divinations and look at the energetic support for the next 6 weeks. And this is a powerful season, last quarter of the year, as we prepare for very new energy in 2026. So I hope you'll join me there. That's also 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. And that ought to do it, other than certain classes and things going on. So that's it for now. Join us when and where you can, and reach out directly when you need to. And thank you for listening. Thank you for being part of the community. I hope you have a fantastic week. This is Kelly of Karmic Tools signing off.